Ham radio is utterly chaotic and I absolutely adore it. This is the 18th episode of the 4th season of Frasier, and it's worth pointing out that this has 9.4 out of 10 on IMDb, which is an absolutely phenomenal rating. It's actually the second top rated episode on IMDb, so hopefully that goes some way to saying how absolutely incredible this is. There will, of course, be spoilers from now as I talk about the episode. It's directed by David Lee, and I will go through things chronologically and share some thoughts. I have a lot of things to praise. Basically, it's just going to be me praising pretty much every aspect of this. There isn't anything that didn't work. I thought the concept was great. The pacing was brilliant. So funny. It starts off in Cafe Nervosa, and Frasier is explaining that he's going to be putting on a radio drama at KACL. He's going to be recreating the very first mystery KACL ever aired. It's a play called Nightmare Inn. And Niles kind of sets the scene for how things are going to go, because Martin says, "You don't think your brother knows how to direct?" And Niles replies, "No, the trouble is he doesn't know how to stop directing." And that definitely helps to set the scene for how things will go. And we're briefly down at KACL. We find out that Gil is playing Nigel. Bulldog is wanting to play a part. His friend Maxine is going to be playing a part. Frasier ultimately decides to play the role of the detective. And then we cut to the rehearsal in Frasier's apartment. And he also ropes Daphne in. And things are okay to begin with. And then the first glimpse of Frasier's not very pleasant approach to directing this kicks in. He critiques Mel's German accent, and Mel responds, "I've done that accent on both Broadway and the London stage." And Frasier responds, "Yes, well, perhaps they have different standards than I have." And there we have our first look at Frasier's attitude to this, and Mel quits. He leaves the apartment, and then we're down at KACL, and the rest of the episode plays out. Pretty much the rest of the episode plays out there. This is about halfway through. I think it happened about 10 minutes in. So the entire second half is pretty much this one scene. We occasionally cut to Daphne and Martin, who are listening to the play at home, which I thought was quite nice. They didn't need to do that. I think the scene could have completely carried itself. It's that fantastic. But it just gave it something a little bit extra to see their responses to the chaos that's unfolding. But to have one scene lasting half an episode and working so well is a tremendous achievement. And Niles has been roped in. He doesn't realise, or he hasn't been told yet, that he's actually playing 6 parts. He's replacing Mel, who was doing the voices of a lot of characters. Roz then comes in and she had a dental emergency, so she can't speak properly. And Bulldog becomes frozen in fear, so he can't speak. His character becomes silent. Niles is doing his 6 characters, and David Hyde Pierce's performance was just fantastic. Everybody did a great job, but in particular, I thought he really made this, in a lot of ways, very, very funny. The sound effects were absolutely brilliant. I thought they added something really fun to this as well, and they helped to keep it really engaging. and things just went from bad to worse, and the narrative just became really chaotic. And then from the point of Gil's exit, and I'll talk about that in a moment, to the end of this scene, I basically didn't stop laughing. Gil is killed off, and because Frasier is worried about going over time, he cuts one of Gil's speeches, and it's something Gil was really looking forward to. So he is killed off. The character is killed off, but Gil keeps on talking. So Frasier kills him off again, and then Gil reappears as one of his relatives, who's not in the script, and they kill off that character. So Gil appears as the ice cream man, and this is relevant because a little earlier they accidentally played the sound effect of an ice cream truck rather than whatever effect they were going for. And it was just an absolute joy to listen to. But then Niles realised things were getting far too crazy with all of these different voices and these demands from Frasier. So he takes the balloons, which were used for the sound effects of gunshots, and he just starts killing everybody off one by one. And I thought the perfect ending to that was killing off his character, because it seemed like his character, the main character who was talking, had the secrets to the mystery. And we could only find out who done it, as it were, through that character. And he kills himself off, and it was just beautifully executed, so funny, so well done, such a delight. And I just think the pacing was so fantastic. And as I said, to have one scene lasting such a huge chunk of time and feeling like no time had passed at all because it was just so fabulous, absolutely sensational. And they end with 9 minutes on the clock. And I absolutely loved it. I just thought it was so, so well done. When I saw that 9.4 out of 10 on IMDb, I wasn't surprised for 1 second. I thought it was brilliantly done. Really thoroughly enjoyed it. A solid episode, beautifully executed, funny from start to finish. The pacing was fabulous. The performances were brilliant. The sound effects were awesome. I really liked those a lot. And I had a lot of fun with it. And honestly, I feel like listening to that at home would have been tremendously more fun than the play itself. Radio dramas are brilliant, but it was so chaotic that it would have just been an absolute delight to listen to. Well, perhaps Martin and Daphne were more baffled than delighted, and even Eddie had a couple of facial expressions to share how strange things sounded even to him. So I thought it was brilliantly done. I have no complaints. I can't fault it. Ham Radio was absolutely fantastic, and I don't have any questions about why that's one of the top rated episodes on IMDb. It's absolutely brilliant.